I believe I'm not alone when I say that one of my favorite fighting game series of all time is Capcom vs SNK, an ambitious crossover that saw fighters from both companies duking it out for the first time. By now we're pretty used to seeing all sorts of guest fighters and versus titles, but I still think few companies have a collection of characters that fit so well together like these two. But while Capcom's entries in the series are probably the most well known, they're far from the only ones. In fact, SNK developed the very first game, SNK vs Capcom, the Match of the Millennium, which was released for Neo Geo Pocket Color in 1999. Earlier this year, the game was also ported to the Nintendo Switch and now for PC, giving future generations a chance to experience this charming and surprisingly quite competent fighter. The graphics, as you can see, follow the style present in the Neo Geo Pocket's fighting game catalog, and are simply adorable. They're bright, colorful, and I'd go so far as to say that some of the stages look quite impressive. Despite the technical difficulties, I was pleasantly surprised at how much personality SNK managed to give to the tiny combatants, which was also helped by the clever dialogue the fighters exchange, at times poking fun at the rivalry between Capcom and SNK. The game features a roster of 26 fighters from the respective companies' biggest franchises, like Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, Darkstalker, Samurai Showdown, and The King of Fighters. While we obviously leave some fan favorites behind, it's a very respectful cast of characters that manages to include most of the big names you would expect and perhaps even a few surprises. Of those, 18 are immediately available, with a further 8 being unlockable characters. This is at the same time pretty cool because it gives you a reason to continue playing the game, but also, if I'm honest, a little frustrating as the unlock process is on the slow side, forcing you to replay the game quite a few times before you can get some new characters. In addition to the tournament, SNK vs Capcom The Match of the Millennium features an Olympic mode, which offers a few additional challenges like survival or time attack. There's also a set of special minigames with other characters from Samurai Showdown, Metal Slug, and even Ghosts and Goblins. The points you acquire in Olympic mode can be used to unlock extra super moves to your character, a concept that I find extremely cool. I should warn you though, some of these moves are quite expensive, so you might need to put a little too much time into this mode if you want to get everything. As you might expect, you can fight either in a one-on-one traditional setup like in Street Fighter, or a 3v3 team match like in The King of Fighters. More surprisingly, there's also a real-time tag team option like in the Marvel vs Capcom franchise. The fighting mechanics, as alluded before, are quite impressive. You can pick between 3 different fighting styles, which with their own pros and cons, giving the game a lot more depth and complexity than you would imagine. The controls themselves are smooth and responsive, so pulling off your signature moves or combos will be no problem at all. Well, kinda. There is one issue, which is caused by the original hardware. Since the Neo Geo Pocket Color only had 2 buttons to work with, your light attacks come out by utilizing brief button taps, while heavy punches and kicks require slightly longer presses. While I'm sure some people can master it, this is a little tricky to get used to and might get in the way of your fancier combos. While there was really nothing that could be done back in the day, it's a shame the modern release didn't separate those attacks into 4 distinct buttons, which would be a major upgrade. And speaking of upgrades, another big thing missing is a move list easily accessible during the pause menu, with the game's manual being the only option, albeit an infinitely worse one. But since it doesn't even include the unlockable characters anyway, you might as well have your cell phone with you to check for a guide on the internet. Overall, I would say that SNK vs Capcom The Match of the Millennium is an incredible title that we're lucky to now have easy access on PC. It's just too bad they didn't take this opportunity to fix a few things that would truly make this a great option for everyone.